What's up guys, Broken Boosted episode 9 coming at you from my living room because it's rainy, it's stormy, it's windy outside, and it is not video making weather, but I'm here anyways for you guys. So episode 9 is pretty much going to be an extension of episode 6, which was choosing a budget turbo manifold. See, what happened was I bought the MOSWorks DIY manifold kit, and then a couple weeks later, of course, the cast iron manifolds for the 1.6 came back out on eBay. So I picked one up. The only problem with this glorious manifold is it has a T3 turbo flange, and there are two problems with that for me. Number one, I already have a turbo and I don't want to buy a T3. I also don't even want to run a T3 because it's a slower spooling turbo. If you ask me, do I want a 140 horsepower car with a faster spooling turbo or a 140 horsepower car with a slower spooling turbo, obviously I'm going to want faster spool, so I want to keep my T25. That's where this baby comes in. This is another purchase from eBay. This is a T2 to T3 adapter. So what I can do is now bolt this adapter onto my T3 manifold and it becomes a T2 manifold. The folks that sell this manifold also include a handy stud kit, as well as a cheap exhaust gasket and a halfway decent T3 gasket. Just a little side note here, when you're installing studs, what you want to do is put two of the nuts on like that. Take two wrenches, tighten the nuts together, get your stud started, and then use the top nut to torque down the stud. When you're finished, just break the nuts free of each other, and your stud's installed. I'm going to be using some red Loctite on these studs. I'm not sure exactly what temperature red Loctite gives up at, but I need everything possible to help hold this thing together. When I grow up, I want to be a T3. Alright buddy, you got it. So, we're going to take our T2 T3 adapter along with some beautiful Home Depot hardware that I picked up. I'll get into the prices for all this stuff at the end of the video. A couple of washers and a lock washer. Repeat 3 more times and that'll be assembled. Again, when I do the final assembly, I will be using red Loctite on everything. Once you've bolted on your converter flange, you're ready to bolt it onto the manifold. I just wanted to bolt everything together, make sure I got the right thread for the bolts and stuff. Last thing you want to do is get to the last day we're getting ready to bolt the turbo on and you find out the bolts you bought from Home Depot are too long. So I just want to test everything. Of course, I'm going to be assembling it with gaskets on the final assembly. I also bought this T25 5-bolt V-band outlet. The 2.5-inch V-band on one side, T25 5-bolt on the other. As with all cheap parts, it looks halfway decent, but I can foresee this thing cracking pretty quickly, so just kind of wanted to give it a test, give it the benefit of the doubt, and then when it fails, I'll have to find a better replacement. I do see that there are some cast iron units, so when this thing breaks, if it breaks, I'll probably try to replace it with one of those. So this thing's gonna plop right on the back of the turbo like this, and this is a V-band clamp. What I'm gonna do is have my buddy basically weld me an elbow off of this clamp that's gonna shoot down 90 degrees or close to it and mate up with the stock exhaust system. Got some more lovely Home Depot grade 10.9 hardware to hold this on. So there's the complete assembly in all of its glory. I cannot wait to test fit this thing and hope that the hood clears the turbo with that big adapter on there. So the budget's at $348, but I'm not going to be using the MOSWorks setup that I bought. I'm going to add that 115 back to it, which puts us at $463. Now this manifold was $112. The adapter was $27. I spent $14 on hardware. I have 2 more gaskets coming in the mail, which is another $14. And then this downpipe V-band adapter thing was $29. So that leaves us with $267. And we still have fueling to take care of, some of the turbo lines, and some other miscellaneous things here and there. A couple little tricks that I have to do because I'm going to be using the stock ECU and no piggybacks on this. So I'll get into that in later episodes. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to follow the build or any of my other installs. Until next time, peace out.